What up, knuckleheads? Okay, so I said I was going to do the Starkiller versus Cal Kestus video. It's pretty much a simple one, man. It's pretty much saying how Starkiller is way better than Cal Kestus. And if any of you are watching this, and if you're a Star Wars fan, and if you're a Starkiller fan, show them this video. Because it's pretty obvious. Because there's so many people on YouTube that do fight speculations, right? It's like, oh, well, in this universe, they're not allowed to do this. In this universe, they're not allowed to do that. It's like, but that's the thing. In Marvel, when they go to different universes, they have the same powers. In Mortal Kombat, if it's a different person, but, in a different universe, but they're the same person, they got the same powers, they got the same strengths. So why doesn't that work with topics on fights? Like in a real fight, there's no ringing the bell. There's no, oh, let's do 3 rounds. So these are the restrictions on this person. These are the restrictions on that person. No. In a fantasy fight, if they have those certain powers or if they have those certain abilities, they keep them. It's kind of like when you're watching professional wrestling, and if someone goes to a different promotion, oh, they for example, if a person for example, Shayna Baszler, right? A person that's an MMA fighter can brutalize you, right? And maybe she's not doing well in the WWE right now. Kind of feel sorry for her. To be honest, I kind of liked her better than Ronda Rousey. I think Ronda Rousey was better in the UFC, and I think Shayna Baszler would have been really good in the WWE if, she got to the main roster first. But for some reason, Ronda Rousey wanted to get the spotlight, even though she didn't work for it. And at the end of the day, she didn't appreciate it. She started talking crap to the fans and didn't care. And but Shayna's still there. And guess what? Not being appreciated. I don't know. I think she's cool. But that's not what I'm talking about right now. The point is, in wrestling, if you put someone in a different promotion, that doesn't make them any less badass. In a movie, if you put them in a different movie, they still have the same powers, the same abilities, the same, personality. Well, unless if you have a different agenda about it. So that's the same thing with doing different fights with mythical characters or characters that are make-believe. In a fight, there are no rules. It is winning or losing. It is life or death. It's not my fault that people pick favorites, okay? That's why I like Death Battle, in on YouTube, or even or you can even say that, Spider-Man and Batman, Insomniac Spider-Man and Batman from Arkham series. I get why they're different, because they're explaining to you in those videos how they both have different challenges. They're not giving you rules on which universe has different outlooks. No. They're having the same powers, the same abilities, the same skill in their games. They're just trying to show you, which person did more impressive stuff. Which person used their brain more. Which person would outsmart the other one. Which one had bigger villains. Right? So that's what I'm doing to Cal Kestus and Starkiller. There's no rules. It's all about the abilities and how powerful they are. That's how a fight is. Like, even in MMA, it's not who can talk more crap, it's who can kick the most ass. Now, okay, so my philosophy is, so we're going to go with strength, right? Who has the best power? So, Cal Kestus has abilities to bring out his dark side. Of course he does. He is also very good at parkour, which Starkiller is lacking, right? So maybe he'll have the point with movement, right? Get on high ledges that, maybe Starkiller, is very bad at doing. Like, he's not really the parkourist. He more like boosts himself up with the force. So we could probably give him that point, right? And but then we go to the enemies that they have faced. Of course, Cal Kestus has gone against monsters and creatures that are bigger than him, but he can barely survive with them. Like, so Starkiller, the monsters that he faces are way bigger than him. Way bigger. He's got robots that are way bigger than him. Right? So how is it that people are like, no, Cal Kestus does not have a chance? Like, Starkiller is the Sith assassin that nobody wants to mess with. Okay? He is one of the best Siths in combat. A little below Darth Vader. Because I guess in canon, he died from Vader, or from trying to save the rebellion. But Cal Kestus runs away from Darth Vader. So, here's the thing. Starkiller, he almost destroys Darth Vader. It's just that Darth Vader outsmarts him. His weakness is love. His weakness is his allies. Well, Cal Kestus, once he sees Darth Vader, the game either tells you to run or survive. You don't even try to attack him. And when you do, he pushes you away effortlessly. Okay? So why are we saying that Cal Kestus is better than Starkiller? That's another point for Starkiller. He's already getting destroyed, okay? And here's the thing. Cal Kestus might be able to choke people. Yeah, so can Darth Vader. So can every Sith Lord ever. So can Darth Maul. He just never did it. Darth Maul was more of like the stare at you. Like, he had a force power that if he stared at you, you got intimidated. He just looked at you and you're scared, right? Like, that was the force ability that Sith could do. He could do that. Just one look at Darth Maul, you're fucking frightened. Okay? Some people even die after it's the Sith stare, right? Alright. So maybe Starkiller can't do that. But we're talking about a guy that can disintegrate people with his electricity, with his electric pulse, with his force pulse. You get him angry enough, a bunch of stormtroopers are around him. He just uses force pulse and everybody disintegrates around him. You know what Cal Kestus does? With a stormtrooper that has a wand, he has to dodge, he has to block. Okay? Now he could destroy them, of course, but like he has to do all this extra shit to survive a stormtrooper with a wand. Okay? And then sometimes, if too many stormtroopers attack him, Like, if he gets overrun, he dies. Okay? If you get overrun, it's like a Dark Souls battle. You're not gonna survive unless, like Starkiller can literally, effortlessly destroy many stormtroopers before dying. It would be a massacre, right? It would be a massacre. Now I know what some people are probably thinking. They're like, hey, but he's in the Legends universe. It doesn't matter if he's in the Legends universe. His powers still stay the same. Do you know why? Because he doesn't exist in the Disney universe or in like the canon universe. So if he is in the canon universe, it's like, oh, we have to dumb down his powers. It's like, no, you don't. What are you going to dumb them down to if he doesn't exist in that universe? What are you going to dumb him down to? You might as well either bring him from the Legends universe and destroy Cal Kestus, or just don't bring him over at all and Cal Kestus can live. Like, there is no argument that my boy Starkiller is going to have any threat to Cal Kestus. Cal Kestus was hiding. He has to hide from the Inquisitors, okay? And when he doesn't hide, he has to do a boss battle. Just for the Inquisitors. Well, do you know what Starkiller was doing? He was destroying Jedi after Jedi after Jedi after Jedi. Now it was, you know, a little unfair because you know, the Jedi were master Jedis. But Cal Kestus struggles with Inquisitors. They're not even top tier Siths. You got Starkiller going face to face with Shaak Ti. You got him going face to face with all the legendary, all the legendary Jedi. And then he is very close to defeating Darth Vader. Very close. Where Cal Kestus runs away. He survives. He doesn't almost dominate Darth Vader. And the only reason why Starkiller lost to Darth Vader is because they implemented his weakness. Love and the loyalty of his friends. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm very loyal to my friends, but we're not talking about real life. We are talking about Jedi and Sith. What their mindset is, right? So it's like I don't know, man. It's weird when people say Cal Kestus will can beat Starkiller. I'm like, I don't know what you be smoking, dude. I don't know what kind of weed you have been smoking, my dude, but that doesn't make sense in any universe. When, dude, it makes sense. If you have played The Force Unleashed, and then when you've played Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, you will understand that Starkiller is the GOAT. He is a Sith that can rival Legends universe Luke Skywalker. Now, Disney Luke Skywalker was weak. But when it was in the Legends universe, him and Starkiller could do the same things. Luke Skywalker saw a Star Destroyer in space. You know what he did? He pulled that sucker down with the Force. He was that strong. Starkiller can disintegrate you with the Force if he did it strong enough. And guess what? Starkiller did the same thing that Luke did. He challenged all of his hatred, all of his anger, just to bring down his Star Destroyer to the ground. I have never seen Cal Kestus do that. I have never seen Cal Kestus do that. I like the actor of Cal Kestus, and I do like the game. But for people to compare him to Starkiller? For people to compare him to Starkiller. Dude, he shocks Jawas in punk kicks. Ewoks for fun. Like, dude, like even in the Sith ending, if you become Lord Starkiller, he might be broken. You know, he might be breathing like Darth Vader, and he might be broken, but dude can move a lot faster than Darth Vader when he's Lord Starkiller. And that's when he's all broken. That's when, like, he has nothing left. And that is when Siths are the most powerful. Is when they have nothing left in life. And all they have is hatred. That's when they're the strongest. Do you know why Darth Vader was still not the strongest Sith? He was one of them, but he wasn't the strongest. Do you know why? Because he still had good in him. He still had hope. So, the goods outweighed the bad. You know? So that's why he wasn't as strong to defeat Palpatine. When he defeated Palpatine to help his son, he ended up dying. It was his hatred that kept him alive. It was him thinking that he could do nothing to fix his dark Sith soul. It was his rage that kept him alive. He should have been dead, but it was his hatred that kept him alive. Now, I'm not saying all Siths are better than Jedi. I love Luke Skywalker when they didn't mess him up. You know, I love Yoda, Mace Windu. I like a lot of Jedis. Heck, Obi-Wan is the GOAT of memes. You see a meme of Star Wars on the internet, he's like one of the best memes. You got, hello there. Or, Anakin, I have the high ground. You know? Or, only a Sith deals in absolutes. You can quote the dude. Alright? He's there. He's goated. So I'm not saying anything about the Jedi. It's just Cal Kestus was a Padawan for most of his video game. And then he gets a little snippet of the dark side and thinks, and then people think that he can beat Starkiller. No, he can't. He got a snippet of the dark side, bro. Starkiller, like, through his whole childhood, when Darth Vader took out his dad and Darth Vader brought him in as a Sith apprentice, he was thinking, this kid is going to hate things. This kid is perfect because while I get rid of his dad and he doesn't remember who his dad is, I'm going to tell him to hate everything. And that's what Siths do in Star Wars. The more they hate, the more they're angry, the more they just give up on life, the stronger the Sith is with them. The more powerful the Sith powers are. Like, Sith are evil. And if they're not evil, they're at least broken and misguided by Palpatine himself or Darth Vader. They break these people down to become evil Siths. Okay? So, yeah, there's a lot of Jedi that can take out the Siths. I mean, that's why Star Wars, the Jedis always win, because they outsmart the Sith. But when we're talking about Cal Kestus, and I'll stop it right here afterwards, but when we're talking about Cal Kestus, a guy that's afraid of Darth Vader, a guy that can barely beat the Inquisitors, And if too many stormtroopers gang up on him at once, he dies. It takes a couple of bullets for you not to deflect, and he dies. Starkiller can take all that stuff. Why do you think it's called the Star Wars God of War for a reason? Because he's literally the Star Wars equivalent to Kratos. And I know people in the comments are going to be like, well, this is not fair. This is you just bragging about Starkiller. I'm like, yes. That's why I was saying in the last videos that buckle up. I'm glazing him right now. But do you know why? Because Cal Kestus has no chance. Cal Kestus has no chance. You guys were just trying to make rules for the battle so Cal Kestus has a chance. A real fight, like in real life, in a real fight, there is no UFC match rules. There's no boxing rules. There's no wrestling rules. There are no rules in a real fight. And in a real fight with no rules, and if they both have the same abilities, Starkiller beats Cal Kestus every time. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you've learned anything. And if you agree with me, and if you're a Star Wars fan, like it anyway. Come on, man. Starkiller's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. So subscribe. And if you hate me, subscribe, you know? I'm just kidding. You don't have to. Just, you know. I talk about different topics. Heck, if I get enough people watching me, I'll even go live. I'll even read your comments, and we can talk about different things. Like, I can talk about wrestling. I can give you knowledge. We can debate about Star Wars, anything nerdy. And I know you people saying, hey, wrestling isn't nerdy. It's like, yeah, it is. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of tough people in wrestling. But you telling me that people that go out to cosplay as their gimmick, and yeah, they're badass, of course, but that cosplays as their gimmicks, talk shit to each other for a living, are good at it, are good at making you react, are good at making you feel good, feel bad, and hear about a story, right? Make you feel so energetic, being like, wow, that was a great show. That was a great performance. You know what else does that? Comic book heroes and villains. It's a story, man. Just in Hollywood or in comic books, the heroes and villains come back the next day. And in wrestling, I mean, it's very risky. There's a difference. Wrestlers put their lives on their lines just to tell you a story. It's just comic book characters. They can come back at any time if they write it in the script. So remember, if someone tries to debate you on a very strong being versus somebody that can barely hold his own against a lot of people, and they're like, let's debate this, show them this video. Because in a real fight, there's no rules. It's all about who's going to kick each other's ass. You know? It's a better versus when we talk about Alex Mercer and Cole from Infamous. That's a better match to talk about. Because they're both really good. And they're both competition to each other. But when I see on YouTube, who would win? Cal Kestus or Starkiller? There's no discussion. You're wasting your time. And you might be thinking I'm wasting my time by talking about this. No! I'm actually giving you information that this person is wasting his time on energy, because guess what? Starkiller wins. There's no argument. He's the GOAT. He'll fry Cal Kestus. It doesn't matter if he's got plot armor. Guess who else had plot armor? Starkiller. All right. That's all I had to say. Subscribe. Like. Don't be a stranger. Discuss things. Come on. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for letting me rant. Tell you why Starkiller's the GOAT. You don't mess with him in the Star Wars universe. And one more thing. Why do you think he's not in the Star Wars movies? Well, I mean, Kathleen Kennedy says, well, it's because he's not good for the Star Wars product nowadays. Do you know what she's actually thinking when she says that? Starkiller's too powerful, and he'll destroy everybody on the screen. That's pretty much what she's saying in her head. But outside her head, she's trying to make it seem like, oh, he can't be in our universe. He doesn't go with our values as Star Wars nowadays. It's like, no, you already know he's going to destroy everybody there. The only person he has a chance with like having competition is Luke. And that's if Luke comes out as the Legends universe Luke. Not the Disney Luke. Disney Luke would be fried with Starkiller too. Alright, guys. Have a good day. Actually, it's a nighttime. I've been busting these through. I'm kind of tired, so I'm going to bed. But yeah, hope you learned something. And if you're entertained, like I said, subscribe. If not, it's fine. I just wanted to put something out there for non-wrestling fans, because I said in the description that I wanted to do multiple different things. I'm a nerd. So, I've done a couple of video game things, done a couple of wrestling things, and here's the Star Wars thing. I'm planning on doing more of these, so stay tuned. I'm not just going to be like one of them wrestling connoisseurs. I'm trying to be a variety channel, so, alright, I'm taking too long. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll see you guys later.